This is such a profoundly beautiful experience that he gives you on such a frightening level in terms of the action sequences and what you do get that's thrilling. And then it has people's lives and their stories sort of unfolding before you that you don't see coming, and you don't see or expect them to end the way that they do or begin the way they do. And it gives you an outlook on space, almost as though you're the voyeur of what's happening in space and the earth below that. So it's almost a three-tier point of view of something that almost looks alive and creature-like, which is this whole space odyssey thing that takes place from the very beginning to when things shatter and explode and fall apart to the journey after that. So if I had to describe this film, it would sound horrible and no one would go, but that's only because I don't possess the vocabulary or the descriptives in order to make it sound as beautiful as it is, and amazing and as frightening and as thrilling as it actually is. Alfonso's desire to, mix whatever the theme of that particular story is with the cycle of life. I might be a female in this movie, but she's so removed from anything that makes her womanly. She's almost androgynous. So you have this being that has removed anything that would remind her of what she was like when she was a woman, which was a mother. So she's a robot. She's just, everything is perfunctory. Everything is to serve a purpose, which is to complete this mission, to get this piece of machinery that she's created, which is amazing. Working, installed, get back home, go back to her robotic life, and she's paired with this sort of cowboy astronaut whose life and love is that vantage point where he is right now in space, and that's played by George Clooney, where he loves nothing more than seeing the amazing world from that point of view. He's the cowboy. He's the one NASA loves to talk to. He's the guy that always has the best stories. He's the one that breathes life into every single moment because he's grateful for every single moment. That's what you're going to be able to bring on this amazing ride that at the end you feel like you've just been reborn. You're going to leave the theater hopefully and go, what can I do to make this day amazing, not waste any more time? We just waste. So electric about the minute he's on screen, it's not his face, it's his voice. And you just go by his voice, you go, everything is going to be okay. Because that voice is there. And he just has that voice that makes you feel like it's a friend, it's someone who's been there, will take you on this journey, but everything is going to be okay. And that's how George is. Until he starts causing trouble and you go, it's not going to be okay, because you just have to watch your back at every minute. But he was very well behaved, shockingly. Shockingly well behaved. It was the most collaborative experience I've ever had, and Alfonso being the master collaborator. You think of all the great filmmakers, and you go, oh my gosh, I admire this person's work, and then you meet them or you hear that they're a horrible human being, and they have, like, we all have our demons, but then you meet one who you admired for so long, and who they are as a human being far exceeds what you ever could have imagined them being, and that's Alfonso. And that's why he had every single person struggling so hard to just do their best and to give him what he wanted, because they knew that this man who'd created so many great films before was creating something it's unknown but profound and very beautiful. When I saw it, I was so in love with the visual of the world. I just saw the world and it made me look at Earth. I'd never seen Earth like that before. I'd never seen, there's so many beautiful images of Earth, and they're usually from the space station floating around. So the vantage points we see are very specific and they're very familiar. We've not seen our planet like this, as such a character, as so, I don't know, like they made it so every color, every element, every landmass, every sunset, every sunrise, every storm has such, it's alive. It shows it as a live, living entity. You're acting in a box of blackness, a box of light. You're strung up by wires hanging over blackness. All you know is that there are black walls and these massive sound stages, but you know that there's a team of geniuses behind them, and all you can do is hear them in your little earwig. There's no human connection, which actually in a weird way helped because it made you feel so alone. I never felt lonely because you always had a little voice coming at you in your ear, but it just was incredibly isolating, and you're either in pain. You're always in pain. On every given day, there was something that was physically uncomfortable. But I think these long sequences that they're able to pull off so seamlessly force the audience to not break away from the moment. They force you to be committed to that moment, and where he uses them is very, very, very pivotal. At the beginning, it's to pull you into this world where they are, so you don't have 1 second to go out and go, oh, this is not real, this just doesn't exist. It doesn't allow you a break. And he uses them so specifically. He's brilliant, and he and Chivo are masters at it. Life doesn't have editing. It's sort of they're trying to give you that hold your breath connection to the moment that life gives you. It doesn't give you a moment to sit back and adjust your feelings. They don't want you to adjust your feelings. They want you to remain uncomfortable, engaged, frightened, in love, grieving, suspended. And that's how they do it, is with those shots.